Hey, thanks for tuning in to Bite-Size Book Reviews. So I've recently run through a book called The Husbands by Gramazio. So the main character, Lauren, lives in London, and she comes home one day to be greeted at the door by her husband. The only problem is that she is not, in fact, married and has no idea who this man even is, and it really creeps her out. She soon discovers that there's something really bizarre going on with the attic of her flat. Every time the husband of the moment goes up into the attic, he actually comes down as a different person. Somehow the action of whatever husband she is currently marrying to going in and coming down kind of resets the world so that she's actually cycling through this seemingly infinite variation of people that she might have married in some other life. And it affects not only who she is married to, it technically affects everything in her life, because she's moving through different situations where she could plausibly have ended up with these people. So every time the husband changes, she has to relearn, check out what job she's currently in, if it's the same one, what her finances are like, if her friends are still her friends, all these different things that might change if she had made different choices at some point in the past. But they're all people that she could potentially have met and built a relationship with and chosen to marry. So I technically picked up this book because I thought the premise sounded like it would be funny. It did not turn out to be particularly funny, but something I liked would probably be I did kind of look forward to seeing how the world changed each time she went to a different husband. She has to go through this exploring process of seeing what is different and trying to bluff her way through these circumstances that she doesn't know. And it is, the premise itself is kind of interesting to think about in some ways, just because it's, her trying to find a world in which she is willing to stay, although I think it's pretty obvious from an outside perspective that that's never going to happen if you don't make yourself just pick, because it's not like you can backtrack to a previous person and you're never going to find someone who's perfect. And it seems a bit ridiculous that I think part of her thinks that it is in fact possible to find a world where you have a partner who has no flaws and a life that has nothing you would change. But yeah, I do think seeing the little differences as she moves around is kind of interesting. But I guess something that did not, I felt like it had some of the same problems for me as the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, where you don't get a lot of meaningful conversations or interactions between her and other characters, because everyone else will not remember anything. And this also brings out, I think, certain characters in her that are really annoying, being really self-centered and really careless and doing a bunch of things just because you can, or because you know that you don't have to deal with the consequences. It makes her kind of an unlikable person, honestly. And it's, like I said, the lack of meaningful interactions also means there isn't a lot of dialogue. It's mostly her thinking and analyzing the world until you get at least one other character who actually does understand, I guess, what is happening to her. So yeah, not really any strong feelings about it, but that was The Husbands.